I was in Operation Theatre. Something was really unsettling. At the time, I just used to wonder.
So hello viewers, today with us Dr. Saloni Singh. She is a coaches of coach and a corporate trainer. So hello ma'am, how are you today feeling?
I'm good, thank you, Ronak.
And viewers, today's podcast is completely going to be on habit building and relinquish bad habit, like how to deal with addiction of negative habits or negative thoughts. Like John Maxwell once said that you will never change until you will not change something you do daily. The secret of success is found in your daily habit. Today's podcast is completely going to be on habit building and addiction of that. So, Saloni ma'am, what do you think about habit and how habit building poses a massive role to become successful in life? What are your insights on habit building and what are the important habits which are, crucial to build to become successful in life?
Okay, wonderful question, Ronak. Thank you for that. So, habit building, first and foremost, is extremely important. We all know that, I think, because we are a creature of habits. Until
Right.
unless we are extremely mindful, we naturally like go with the autopilot we have in our system. So, there are subconscious habits we form usually from childhood. Until
Mm.
unless we become aware of them. For example, some people have a habit of whenever they see something sweet and they will just grab it and eat it
Right.
without thinking whether they're hungry or not. Yeah, and they
Yeah.
just might think, oh, I have a sweet tooth, and they might want to be fit, want to eat, healthy and nutritious, meal, but they just do it out of habit.
Mm.
Now, building is important because the first thing I would say in habit building is awareness and mindfulness. So if you're mindful of what kind of habits you want to keep, what kind of habits you
Mm.
want to change, it can be any habits. Like people talk about waking up in the morning early and having an early start, a positive start of the day. Of course, that's a good habit, but
Yeah.
it's not that everybody has to wake up very early. You have to see what works for you as well, but make sure that your habits are helping you to lead a happy and healthy life. And if it's not, then it's time to change your habits.
Right. And what are your insights on addiction of negative habit? Like, suppose if I have a habit of smoking, so what are the things which I need to keep in mind and do and take an initiative towards, relinquish that specific habit?
So the very first thing is to have a very good reason and motive behind your change, because a lot of people know this. So information is everywhere. We are living in a world of overload of information, right? So everybody knows. For example, if we takes the habit of smoking, drinking, unhealthy, eating or binge watching, TV, all of these habits, everyone knows that it is not
Right.
good for physical health, mental health, emotional health in any way. It's not healthy, right?
Mm.
But until unless you have a good enough reason that you have this inner motivation, the inspiration that I want to lead a healthy life, I want to lead a happy life, and I can, take charge of my life, you're
Mm.
not going to change. It's very simple because a natural habit or addiction which you form will overpower you. So this we have to build a little willpower so that once we know that it's not good for me, then we can take action through that willpower. That yes, I want to change this addiction of smoking, for example, it is, and then take actions in alignment with what my goal is. And a lot of
Right.
time you might need to help. You might need to take help of a therapist because your addiction might be related to some other emotion that is bothering you inside. So maybe there is some trauma, there is something that needs to heal. And because you don't want to face that emotion, usually people go into addiction. Maybe you don't have a good social life or good relationships. And because a
Mm.
person doesn't want to, make effort in those relationships or change those relationships, they go into an easy escape. So we call it an escape mechanism, which is usually
Mm.
addiction. It could be eating, drinking, smoking, any addiction. So you also might have to look into what is the reason of my addiction. Yeah. And then only you can change.
So we have to figure out the reason behind the addiction and should have a strong intention to obstruct that particular habit, right? And Saloni, Miss, you have written a book on overthinking. So, how did this idea cross to your mind to write a book upon overthinking? So, I want to know the story that how did you write that specific book?
That's so interesting because this morning only I launched my course, video course, How to Stop Overthinking. And I
Mm.
wrote the story when I was launching. I thought, let me write the story, how I came about writing the book and then the
Right.
course. So it was 2019 when one of my mentor and I was working with him, and he asked me like, what are the people you work with? What is the main thing that you're working on? What do you help with people? So I wrote name of all my clients, and it was very interesting. There was a common thread which was overthinking. So I realized for last 3 4 years I was actually helping people with overthinking, and it was very interesting because 80% of those were male clients, which is surprising because people usually think that women think more. So I was very surprised to see like, wow, 80% of my clients were male, and I never realized that. And I was working with all of them on the topic of overthinking, and they wanted to have a clear mind, make better decisions, and feel good in life and happy in life. And their thinking, overthinking, criticizing, and self-doubting habit was causing,
Mhm.
stress, anxiety. So
Yeah.
that I told you this is a topic I've been working on for many years, and successfully my clients are getting results. So he said that
Mhm.
why are you not writing a book about how to stop overthinking and write a very small book for
Mhm.
professionals who are very busy, you don't have time to read big books. And I'm like, no, but I don't want to write this book. I want to write some very spiritual book, and I'm very spiritual in nature. I love to read spiritual texts. I'm like, I'm going to write some book with about life's truths and all. He
Mhm.
insisted. He said, see, people really need solution to this problem, and you
Right.
have solution because you have been working with people. So don't
Mhm.
think about what you want to read or write. Think about what people need. And
Mhm.
then the COVID lockdown happened in March. And that was
Right.
the perfect time. So I started writing the book. I launched the book literally within 2 3 months. The book was out. I didn't think much of it. Yes, I started getting a lot of invitations in corporates to do sessions on how to
Mhm.
stop overthinking. But what happened last 2 years, a lot of messages started to come to me because the book was available as a download on my website for free.
Mhm.
And from different countries, like it was very strange, like Nairobi, Kenya, New Zealand, I started getting messages from
Mhm.
people that, because my email and number was in the book, that this book is really helping. This is very short, quick, and very practical tools you have shared. And it's really helped me in overthinking. So that's how I thought of creating a video course, and just launched it today only, the video course where I'm sharing, different modules, how to really do it, actionable points to make you,
Mhm.
have a clear mind and stop overthinking.
Right. So, Miss, what are the three advices you'd like to, forth that how to stop overthinking and how to confront it, basically?
Yeah.
Mm.
So the very first thing that I would say, I've shared in the book and the course as well. The very first thing is to limit your information overload, because if you are constantly taking inputs, like it's very common nowadays. Even I'm culprit of that. I've done that as well, so I know how addictive the phone can be. That you get up in the
Mm.
morning and the first thing you check is your emails or your social media, and
Right.
instantly. Or you have even connected with yourself, connected with nature or God, divine, whatever you call it. We have started to connect with the external world, which means the thoughts
Mm.
start to bombard in our head. We have information, whether it's news, whether it's what other people are doing, or whether it's about our friends or celebrities, doesn't matter. But all this information make us think more and more, even before we have had our water, tea, or a food or the breakfast,
Mm.
right? So first thing is to limit this information overload. You can connect with people on social media, check your emails, but don't do it in the first few hours of the morning. Start your morning with something like connecting with nature, music, dance, exercise, whatever you like,
Mm.
yoga, whatever is your thing. Choose whatever it is for you, and that's about habit, as you were talking about habits. So
Yeah.
make a habit, and the way I do it is I keep my phone outside. So this is what I started to recently do, that just once I am like, okay, I'm retiring to bed, just keep my phone outside, use another alarm or a watch for my alarm, because that's an excuse to keep your phone by your bedside. You want an
Right.
alarm, so keep it outside. That's a simple way of getting rid of this habit of checking your phone in the morning. So at least you will get up, go to your balcony, go to an open space, feel good and connect with nature, and later on only check your phone. So that's the first thing I would say. Throughout the day as well, keep a tab on how much are you checking your phone. That's the
Mm.
more, I think, that biggest addiction currently in modern society, right?
Right.
The second thing is noticing how present you are where you are. So more, a lot of people are telling me nowadays that I'm constantly distracted. If I'm listening to someone, I'm not sure I'm 100% there. I zone out. Or if I'm reading a book, I find after 10 minutes, my mind is again want to check my emails or my phone or do something. Start
Mm.
noticing how present you are. Are you multitasking? Are you doing some work? Let's say you're doing some, work related, your office work or your
Mm.
home, any kind of house chores. Are you checking your phone in between, or are you doing something else as well? Try to
Mm.
do one thing at a time. Be fully present. If you're eating, just eat. Just eat. Don't watch TV or watch your social media and eat. Don't do that. You just really impacting your brain, your capacity to have a good memory, focus, concentrate. All is going down. They are saying that our focus and concentration has come down, even less than goldfish now as human beings, which is
Right.
just crazy.
Mm,
And this is true, it's scientifically proven. So that is happening because we are so distracted. We have diluted our attention completely. While
right,
somebody is talking, we are checking something on gadget, we are thinking of 10 different things. So
right.
one thing, when you're doing your phone, do it, but limit your time. So let's say you're gonna check your phone for 1 hour, keep that 1 hour tab, put a
Mm,
timer and do whatever you do on that. Don't do anything else. Enjoy if you're doing it for entertainment,
right.
but limit the time, one thing at a time. So that would really help. The last thing I would say is mindfulness. Mindfulness is also related to similar thing, but I'm saying one thing at a time, but be present with all your senses. So for example, if you are having, this is water, but if you're having a cup of tea or anything you're eating, really be present fully with that thing. So smell,
Mm,
taste, is the texture, how you're eating it, how much are you enjoying, really, really be fully present with your senses. That's
mm,
mindfulness. Similarly, you can try mindful breathing, where we very simply you can find on YouTube mindful breathing, conscious breathing, where we breathe and we are aware of your breathing, our breathing. 5, 6 breaths, if you do couple of times in a day, you will feel the
right.
shift that your mind is becoming a little, more calm. Of course,
Mm,
there are advanced tools like meditation, mindfulness meditation, different kind of meditations are there, which are very helpful, which
mm.
I have also, shared in my book and course. They will also help in keeping the mind clear. Yeah.
So, ma'am, what is the difference between meditation and mindfulness? I mean, mindfulness states being in present, and meditation means what? I mean, does it also mean something akin or anything else?
Very beautiful question. And a lot of people get confused about these two terms. So
Mm,
mindfulness, as you said, just being fully present to wherever you are, whatever you're doing. So if I'm cutting
mm,
an apple, I'm just being present with the apple. I'm eating it. I'm really, tasting it, smelling, I'm aware of the texture, what I'm eating. That's
mm,
mindfulness. Okay. And there are meditation types as well, which are mindfulness meditation, where we are being aware of our breathing. They're called mindfulness based meditation. Now, what
right.
is meditation? So simply, meditation is just being, doing nothing, just being. It's a way of connecting with who you are. And in the
Mm,
beginning, when you sit for meditation, of course, because our thoughts are racing, we
right.
start with mindful meditation, which means we focus or concentrate on something. Usually we focus on our breath. So you just
Mm,
focus on your breath. And slowly what happens when you keep bringing yourself back to your breath, you start to connect with the gap between your breath when there is nothing. There is no breath. So in between inhale and exhale, there's a pause. Between exhale and
mm,
inhale, there's a pause. And they
right.
say in scripture, that pose is who you are. Like it's just pure being. So slowly you start to, tap into that peace and calmness that comes with slowing down, just being
Mm,
present with your breath. It takes time. But saying that, even if in the beginning you just start with focusing on your breath, which is a mindfulness meditation, you will start to feel that you are reacting less, you're getting angry less, you're starting to become more calm, and
yeah.
you're feeling, peaceful. That will start to happen. But simply saying meditation is not an act because we think I'm going to do meditation. So there is
Mm,
something not anything like doing meditation because meditation means just being, it's literally being empty. But because we can't stop our thoughts, so we need a tool. And the tool is
yeah.
that when you sit for meditation, your thoughts keep racing. You just look at your thoughts, come back to your breath or your heart or whatever you're focusing on. So there are different kind of meditations. Some meditations suggest that you focus on your heart, imagine there's a light in your heart or light here
Mm,
on the third eye, and you focus on that. You can use any kind of meditation or chakra, where you can focus on your chakras as well. But ultimately, they are leading towards a state of meditation where you're just being fully present to what is.
right, ma'am. How addiction, I mean, develops in our mind? I mean, like, if I am performing a particular habit on regular interval, then is it the only cause of developing an addiction in mind or something else? How addiction, develop, take place?
Happens.
Mm,
So usually, so whatever you do again and again becomes an addiction. It's very simple. That's why young children nowadays, as young as 2, 3 year old, are getting phone addicted because they get the phone, they're watching something on the phone, it's very colorful, the music is good, poems or
mm,
rhymes, whatever they're watching, and then they want it again and again because the mind is getting stimulated, it's enjoying, something is interesting there, right? So whatever
right.
you do again and again becomes like an addiction. So overthinking is literally like an addiction.
Mm,
It's a habit of thinking, that's all it is, without any reason. We keep thinking the same thing, whether it's thinking about a past event that has happened or maybe a worry about future, right? And
right.
80% of our thoughts are repetitive. So whatever you repeat in your head, as they say, you become a master of it. So if you're repeating worry in your head, you become a master of worrying. So
Right.
it's that's how addictions are built. If you start to, if somebody's never smoked, but if they do a few times in a day and for a few days, simply they're gonna become addict.
Mm,
And similarly is also for the good things. But now think about it. Like if you start to wake up early in the morning, if you just have, some willpower and force yourself to do it, if you go out for a walk for a few days, if you go out cycling, running, do meditation, or just start to help people, whatever gives you joy, in few
right.
days you will start to feel good as well. And that will feel very natural for you as well. It will not
Mm,
become like an addiction, of course. It will be like something you will feel, it feels good, and you might not feel a lot of effort you need to put into that. It will
mm.
become so much easier.
Ma'am, what is the cause of an anxiety, overthinking, or addiction, or something else? I mean, how can we deal with an anxious mind?
So, as you said, anxious mind. So, anxiety is nothing but a reaction to anxious thoughts. So, people think anxiety is like something is happening to me. The truth
Mm,
is, do you ever have anxiety? I ask people, okay, what is that thought before you started to feel anxiety? And they tell me, oh, this was a thought. What if something wrong happens? What if I go to the interview and it doesn't work out? What if I forget my lines on the stage? What
yeah.
if you don't have this thought? What if before that was there anxiety? And they would say, no, there is no
Mm,
anxiety. Before the thought, if you just take yourself before the thought, you are there, you're peaceful, and you are okay. So,
mm,
anxiety is nothing but a reaction to an anxious thought. And if you realize thought is
right.
not you, you realize you are not a thought. Thought is something that you literally are. It's like a wave, like an ocean. The wave comes and go.
Mm,
But you are like still water. So just remember, I'm not my thoughts. These thoughts are coming to me, which means I can drop the thoughts by practice. As I said, lot of different ways are there, like for example meditation, mindfulness is simple tools to
mm,
dropping the thoughts or reframe my thoughts. What if I can do it? What if it will go well? So you can
right.
change your thought as well, and you will notice that your anxiety is gone.
Mm,
It's simply gone now. So yeah, there is no anxiety without a thought. And anybody can test it. It's not
mm,
just because I'm saying, just check it yourself.
right. So, ma'am, I would like to ask the last question, which are very crucial. What are the 5 habits which we should adopt to become successful in life, like exercising for mental health or for physical health? So what are the 5 basic or crucial habits which we should incorporate in our daily life to become successful?
Okay, I've never thought this way, but yeah, I can right now think of the habits which has helped me or the people who inspired
Mm,
me. I can tell. I think the very first habit, I wouldn't call it a habit, rather, it's like a way of life, is
mm,
being aware and mindful. So just
always.
start becoming aware of your thought patterns. And that
Mm,
can simply, you can develop through journaling. If you start to write your thoughts, for example, okay, how was my day yesterday? What was I thinking? What was I feeling? If you do
mm,
it for a few days, you are naturally going to become so aware, so
right.
mindful of how you're leading your life, because you will become aware of what kind of thoughts I'm thinking. And once you become aware, then the only thing you need to see, yeah, are my thoughts helping me? And if they're not
Mm,
helping me, they're negative thoughts or thoughts which are not taking me in the direction where I want to go in life, can I change them? Can I have better
mm,
thoughts? And then
right.
naturally you'll have better feelings. So first thing I would say, it's extremely important, no matter what age you are, 17 or 70, become aware and mindful of your thoughts. And your feelings naturally come from your thoughts. You don't have to do anything for your feelings. If your thoughts are
Mm,
positive and happy, you naturally will have happy feelings, right? So that's the
mm,
first thing. And second thing, definitely I would recommend that move your body. Moving your body in any way form, whether it's exercising, dancing, running, cycling, whatever you do. Moving your body is so important, especially in current times. Since COVID, people have started to be more online, working on, through the computer,
mm,
laptop. So not going out, not socializing as much as well. And anyway, we're living in nuclear families nowadays. It's not like our time. Like when I was a child, there was community feeling. I know there was a lot of people around me. There was a more of
right.
a community living where we had many, families who would interact and children will play in big groups. That's not happening that much now. So it's even more important that you go to different kind of activities, maybe join some sports club, join some kind of, activities where you meet people and do physical
Mm,
activities. So that I would say is a wonderful, wonderful habit to build. Also, it will
right.
help you social well. The another one is definitely, I would say, some kind of spiritual habit. It can be meditation, it can be yoga. Again,
Yoga.
yoga, when I say spiritual, doesn't mean just exercising. When I say yoga as a spiritual, habit, it means mind, connecting your mind, heart, and body, which is oneness with yourself.
Mm,
And a lot of yoga practitioners teach you that, which is very meditation based, where you connect with your breath with every movement. So you can do
right.
yoga or meditation or different mindfulness practices. Again, reading scriptures, any kind of scriptures, whether it's Bhagavad Gita, whether it's Tao Te
Mm,
Ching, any kind of scripture. They're all over the world. There are different, scriptures are there, and we live in a time where everything is available in English and many in Hindi as well. So any kind of scriptures you can read, but reading these things or helps, or even simple self-help books like a beautiful book which is coming to my mind is Power of Now and
yeah.
The Undead. These are beautiful practical books which help us connect with ourselves. There are
Mm,
beautiful books written by Ramana Maharshi, Sadhguru. Many
yeah.
wonderful teachers have written beautiful books. Reading itself help, mentally and spiritually us to connect with ourselves. So that would be another a habit to build upon. Then the another habit I would say is to do things that give you joy. It can
That's right.
be anything. It could be as simple as playing with a puppy, playing with children, or going out
Mm,
with helping people. It can be anything that gives you joy, which is not connected to your work. Because a lot of
right.
our current, capitalist society is, forcing us to think only in terms of what can I get from this? How can I earn money from this? So our
Yeah.
whole focus is on earning a living. I'm not undermining it. Of course, we need to have a basic living so we can live a comfortable life. But if we only focus on that, only on earning
Mm,
money, then what happens? Our mental health start to go on toss. Stress,
mm,
anxiety builds up because we are not doing things just for the sake of joy, where
right.
there's no agenda. We're just living and enjoying ourselves. The
Mm,
last one, I would say, because work is a very important part of our lives,
yeah.
find a way to enjoy your work. If you don't find anything in your work that's enjoyable, then you're in a wrong job. And you must think of what else can I do and find something that will give you joy. But
Right.
yes, do find work where you feel you love that kind of work. If not all of it, some part of it, and you really enjoy that as well, because you will be spending a lot of time doing some kind of work to make a nice living. And I
Mm,
hope that you do work which help other people. Most of the work, of course, is helping people in some way or form.
mm,
We are fortunate. We are in a profession where we are not directly helping people with
right.
knowledge or helping with coaching. But all other professions, there is something people are doing which is helping others. Make sure that you enjoy your work. Find something
Mm,
there and create more and more of joy in you. That would be the last thing. Yeah.
mm. Thank you so much, Dr. Saloni Miss, for taking out your precious time for this valuable discussion. And the
Thank you.
advices you have shared are very practical and very, I mean, crucial questions we have covered in our podcast. That what are the 5 important habits which we should inculcate in our daily life, and how to deal with an anxious mind. And you have shared a very practical thing, which is anxious mind means react to anxious thoughts. So very practical stuff you have shared. Thank you for taking out your time, ma'am. Thank you.
Glad to be here. Thank you, Ronak, for inviting me.
Bye.
Bye bye.